Tonight, we delve into the shadows, into a story whispered in hushed tones. A legend that refuses to die. It speaks of a figure, a man cloaked in darkness. He is known as El Sombrerón, the man with the giant hat, a hat so large it hides his face, leaving only glimmers of his eyes, bright, unsettling eyes. They say he is small in stature, but his presence is immense, overwhelming. He wears dark, polished boots that echo on silent streets. In his hands a guitar, not an ordinary instrument. Its wood is dark, its strings seem to hum with an unnatural life. From this guitar he coaxes melodies, enchanting, irresistible, deadly. His targets are always women, often young, often beautiful. He serenades them. His music weaves a spell, a captivating, dangerous magic, a fear that has haunted generations. Imagine an old town in Spain. Its name is not important. It could be any town, with narrow, winding streets, cobblestones worn smooth by time. Ancient houses huddle close together. Their walls hold centuries of secrets, balconies adorned with wilting flowers. During the day it seems peaceful, but night changes everything. Deep shadows cling to every corner. The air grows cold, still. An unnatural silence descends. The kind of silence that amplifies every creak, every distant rustle. The residents lock their doors early. They draw their curtains tight. An unspoken fear permeates the atmosphere. A collective memory of things best left undisturbed. They know the stories. They have heard the warnings about who or what might walk these streets. Whispers circulate like autumn leaves, of disappearances, unexplained. Young women who were there one day, and gone the next. No clues, no reasons, just an empty space. In this town lived a young woman. Her name was Elena. She was known for her gentle spirit, her quiet grace, her kind eyes. Elena lived with her family, in a modest house near the old quarter. Her window overlooked a small, silent plaza. Often she would sit there, reading, dreaming, lost in her own innocent world, a world untouched by the darkness. She loved the quiet of the evening, the way the moonlight painted the rooftop silver. Elena was sensitive, to beauty, to music, to the unspoken. She possessed an artist's soul. Though she did not paint or sing, she felt things deeply, the joy of a sunlit morning, the melancholy of a fading sunset. This sensitivity perhaps made her more attuned, more open to the whispers of the unseen. Her life was simple, unremarkable. She helped her mother in the house. She met her friends in the local cafe. She attended church on Sundays. There was a comforting rhythm to her days, a predictability that felt safe, secure. She had dreams of love, of a future. It began subtly, a faint sound, almost imperceptible. Elena was in her room. The hour was late. The house was still. She was reading, the world outside forgotten. Then she heard it, a single plucked guitar string, clear, resonant. It seemed to come from the plaza below. She paused, listened. Was it just her imagination? The sound came again. This time, a short, mournful phrase, a melody unlike anything she had heard before. It was beautiful, hauntingly so. But there was something else, an undercurrent of sadness, of longing, and something unsettling. Elena felt a strange shiver, not of cold, but of something else, something she could not name, a feeling deep within her soul. She rose from her chair, moved slowly towards the window. Her heart beat a little faster. Curiosity warred with a nascent apprehension. She peered out into the moonlit plaza. It was empty, deserted, no sign of a musician. Yet the music continued, closer now it seemed, as if played just for her. Section 5. The Obsidian Serenade. A growing obsession. Night after night, the music returned, always at the same hour, just as the town sank into its deepest slumber. The mysterious guitar would begin its serenade. Elena found herself waiting for it, anticipating it. The initial curiosity had transformed into something akin to obsession. Sleep became a forgotten luxury. Her books lay unopened. Her thoughts were consumed by the melody. She tried to describe the music to her family, to her friends, but words failed her. How could she explain its haunting beauty, its profound sadness, its subtle, chilling undertones. They looked at her with concern, suggested she was tired, stressed, imagining things. But Elena knew what she heard. It was real, terribly real. The music was a secret she now carried alone. She spent hours at her window, searching the shadows of the plaza, hoping for a glimpse of the unseen musician. Who was he? Why did he play? And why only for her? These questions echoed in her mind, unanswered, persistent. The music was changing her. She grew pale, distracted. Her eyes held a new, feverish light, the light of one who has heard too much. The melody became more insistent, more demanding. It seemed to call to her, to beckon her out into the night. Elena felt a pull, a strange compulsion to follow the sound, to find its source, to confront the mystery that had enveloped her life. Fear mingled with a desperate longing. The serenade was no longer just music. It was a summons, a dark invitation she felt increasingly powerless to refuse. Section 6. Beneath the moon's cold gaze, the encounter. One night the music was different, more powerful, more urgent. It tugged at Elena's very soul. She could resist no longer. Quietly she crept from her bed down the silent stairs. Her hand trembled as she unlatched the door. The cool night air touched her skin. The plaza was bathed in an eerie moonlight. And there in the center he stood, El Sombrerón. He was just as the legends described. Small, yet his presence filled the square. His enormous hat cast his face in deep shadow. She could not see his features, only the glint of his eyes, like burning embers in the darkness. Bright, piercing, hypnotic. His black boots were planted firmly on the cobblestones, and in his hands, the guitar. Its dark wood seemed to absorb the moonlight. He was waiting for her. He did not speak. He simply raised his head slightly, as if acknowledging her arrival. Then he began to play. The music washed over Elena, more intense, more captivating than ever before. It bypassed her ears, vibrating directly within her heart, her spirit. Each note was a caress, a promise, a threat. She stood frozen, unable to move, unable to look away from the shadowed figure. His fingers danced over the strings effortlessly, masterfully. The melody was a lament, a seduction. It spoke of starlit nights, of eternal devotion, of secrets best kept hidden. Elena felt her will dissolving, her fears fading into the background. There was only the music and him, the man with the shadowed face and the eyes that burned into her soul. She had found the source of the serenade, or perhaps it had found her. Section 7. The Labyrinth of Sound. Descent into madness. The world around Elena began to warp, to twist into unfamiliar shapes. The moonlight on the plaza seemed too bright, the shadows too deep, too alive. El Sombrerón's music was the only constant, the only reality. It filled her senses, overwhelmed her thoughts. She felt herself drifting, as if her feet no longer touched the ground. A strange smile played on her lips, vacant, ethereal. Days and nights blurred into one. Elena rarely spoke. When she did, her words were disjointed, fragments of the melodies she constantly heard. Even when the guitar was silent, the music echoed in her mind, a relentless, beautiful torment. Her family watched in helpless horror. Their vibrant Elena was fading, replaced by a pale, listless creature. Her eyes, once bright with life, now held a distant, haunted look. Doctors were consulted, priests offered prayers, but earthly remedies had no power here. The ailment was not of the body, but of the soul. A soul ensnared by a supernatural force. Elena would sometimes trace patterns in the air, as if following invisible dancers. She would hum snatches of the Sombreron's tunes, her voice thin and reedy. She was living in his world now, a world woven from shadows and sound, a labyrinth from which there was no escape. Her laughter, when it came, was chilling, devoid of mirth, full of an unknown sorrow. She would whisper about a man with a large hat, about his beautiful, sad music, about his shining eyes. People said she had lost her mind, that grief or a hidden illness had claimed her. But some knew better. The elders, those who remembered the old tales. They knew Elena was dancing to El Sombrerón's tune, a final tragic dance on the edge of madness. the Sombreron's enduring curse. Then one morning, Elena was gone. Her room was empty. The window opened to the silent plaza. No note, no struggle, no trace. She had vanished, as if she had simply dissolved into the night air. Or had El Sombrerón finally claimed her completely? The answer never came. Some say, on quiet nights you can still hear a faint guitar, drifting from the old parts of town. And sometimes, a young woman's soft humming, intertwined with the notes. As if Elena herself has become part of the music, part of the legend, a ghostly voice in El Sombrerón's eternal serenade, a chilling reminder of his power. The story of Elena became another verse in the long, dark ballad of El Sombrerón, a warning to young women to beware of music in the night, to close their windows, to resist the allure of a handsome stranger, especially one whose face is hidden by shadows and whose eyes gleam with an unnatural light. For his charm is a trap, his music, a path to oblivion, or a descent into the lonely corridors of madness. So the legend endures. El Sombrerón still walks the moonlit streets, his black boots silent on the cobblestones, his guitar ready to play its haunting song. He is patient, he is eternal, waiting for someone new to enchant, someone to lure into his shadowy embrace. Perhaps even now he is out there, searching, serenading. So listen carefully to the night. What do you hear? Is it just the wind or something more?